but I don't think they're going to be able to see. Is that an old man's head on a dog's body? What was that? Desiree's going to email me the picture that she just showed me.
Wow.
D-Rock is going to email me this picture of this dog that I swear to God, it was haunting. That she's going to email me that picture right now. It's not going to show up. The resolution isn't going to be any good.
I know.
She's trying to show you her slideshow unobtrusively while I answer some reader questions here. My hair actually looks better in this video than it did in the last video. I did a little bit more to it. Okay, so I back on like September 26th, this YouTube friend, Sabrina, asked me some questions, and they're actually really common questions that I get a lot, which is fine, but she asked them back on the 26th, and it took me forever and ever and ever to answer them. So I thought, Sabrina, that I would answer these to you in this format so that, I don't know, so it doesn't seem like I'm just copying and pasting answers. I thought, well, I'm going to have a little one-sided YouTube conversation with Sabrina and anybody else who's interested in learning about these questions or what's going on here. So the questions that she asked, the first one was, how did you get the idea for the Blood Ties series? Well, I got the idea for the Blood Ties series when I worked as an SA, or service associate, which is like an orderly, at a hospital in Kalamazoo, Michigan, called Borges, and part of my job was when people died in my department, I would have to push them downstairs to the morgue. And then every time I go down there, and I think, like, what if this is the time that this guy's like a vampire and he attacks me? And obviously it never happened, no matter how much I wished. But that's where like the sort of the seeds got planted to write a book where somebody gets attacked in a morgue. She asks, what was your inspiration? Well, my inspiration is just that I really like vampires. I've always really liked vampires, and I think they're pretty rad. And I don't remember where I heard about vampires, but I remember knowing about them and being aware of them at a very early age. At 3 or 4 years old, vampires were a thing I was worried about, and I was going to sleep at night with my hands around my neck like this because, if you sleep like this, they can't get you. It's against the rules. Everybody knows that if you have something around your neck, be it the blankets or your hands, that's off limits, and the vampire can't get you. So I slept like that every night. She also asks what people inspired the characters. The people that inspired the characters, I am kind of lazy, and I will think of actors in the role of the character that I'm writing. Not because I'm thinking, oh, someday they're going to make a movie out of this, but because when I'm writing stuff that I would like to see on television, or like if I was watching television or a movie, this is what I would like to see. And when I read books, I do that too. I cast actors in the roles of the books that I'm reading. Which is really funny because then when they make a movie out of the thing that I've been reading and the person I'm imagining isn't the person they cast, I feel like I've been utterly betrayed. Anyway, so when the first Blood Ties book came out, I had a lot of people that would write to me and they'd say, well, if they ever make a movie, Gerard Butler has to be Nathan. And I'm like, that's hilarious because it's exactly the person I was imagining. That's a really beautiful picture.
Oh, yeah.
Where's that? Is that at your property?
That is somewhere in Montana or something. That's a little slideshow thing. I didn't take that one.
Oh, you didn't take that picture?
No.
Well, that's the one I like. Seriously, though, send me the haunted dog picture.
Oh.
Anyway, it looked like a dog that was haunted by a human
spirit. His name was Gussie. He was the most beautifulest, nice old dog you ever seen. And whenever you see that dog in that picture, when I do, I think of the owner because they look so much alike. It's like when the dog or when the husband and wife look alike, or when the pet and the owner look alike. Right. That guy and that dog look a lot alike.
Because that dog had clearly a human face.
That's because he looked like his owner. It was amazing.
Okay, anyway, yeah, so when I was writing Nathan, I was thinking of Gerard Butler. And when I was writing Carrie, I was thinking sometimes of Sarah Michelle Gellar and sometimes like Naomi Watts in The Ring. I bet if they made a movie of Blood Ties now, though, they'd put Katherine Heigl in that role. I think she'd be great. And then when The lights went out on my computer. And then when I wrote Cyrus, I thought more of like a young Julian Sands. Okay, what's the next question? Then she asks, would you come someday to Germany? Well, I would love to, and I've almost been to Germany. I got to the Netherlands, but I've never been into Germany. Yeah, I'd love to go to Germany someday because it sounds like a magical land full of like sarcasm and beer and fried meats and everything good that I could possibly want. And Armentrout is actually like a German name. Except for it wasn't spelled Armentrout, it was spelled like IRMANTRAUGHT. It's just that when people came over to, like, actually my family I think came in through Canada, or they may have come in through, I don't know, but I think it's Canada. Anyway, when they came in through there, the people didn't know how to spell, so they just wrote, like, they just sounded it out. Which is hilarious, because now if you tell somebody, I say, my name is Armentrout, people are like, oh, how do you spell that? And I'm like, really? Can't you just Ellis Island it out a little bit? So, yeah. But yeah, so there'd be, like, culturally an interest in me going there, too. So, because, it's like my heritage and stuff. But nope, I have never been there, and currently don't really have a means to get there. I might build a boat and just come over and see you sometime. Yeah, and I realize that you're like, I would have to go through some other countries, but the boat is the first step. Building the boat is the first step, and then putting it on the trailer, then driving it over to the coast of some ocean or tributary so I can get out of where I am. And then, I guess I could take the St. Lawrence Seaway.
Yes.
And then I would have to get to Europe, and then I would have to...
I'm not going with you. This sounds dangerous.
This is probably very dangerous, because I have to build a boat, and I have...
That's why I'm saying it's dangerous. You've got to build the boat.
Well, because I could build square things, but when we get to, like, bending the wood and crafting it into a hull, fashioning it into a... This boat's not going to last. It's not going to last. See, I thought you were going to put pictures up there of, like
stuff of me.
Beautiful Michigan places and haunted dogs.
No, that's a beautiful Michigan place.
Is that in Michigan? I don't think it was. It looked like the Marquesas. Have you ever been to Michigan? How dare you? How very dare you? Anyway, so those were some questions. Oh, and another question I got on Twitter was if I could show my nail polish for, let's try this again, because this is the second time I've recorded this video. The first time the webcam was all jumpy and weird when I uploaded it. La Nuit Sauvage said, can she see my nail polish? So there it is. There's the nail polish I'm wearing. It is Studio M Fast Play over OPI Mermaid's Tears. And I have my Miley Cyrus haircut, which is now a Robert Smith haircut. Just, budget cutbacks. Shit like that. Say goodbye, Desiree.
Yo, peace out.
Yeah, see you later.